the ever so popular yet mysterious item we refer to, rightly called a Wico EK, is the model type. Wico EK Magneto, high tension. Oh, I hear that 6:30 eastbound train going out there. Let's get past that and get to these EK Magnetos. The one in hand here has the stop button right here. You push that in there and it grounds out. It actually grounds out the inside of that cover, grounds against that little brass washer right there on top of that insulating washer. It touches that and grounds the system out. That's what that does when you mash that down. It just grounds everything out. And you can see this one right here is missing this part. This would have been on the bottom. It covered all of that up, loosened up them screws. It slides right up in there, and it was a complete enclosed unit. Most of them, this part is missing. And this was not on all brand of engines. It was probably a cost factor. This one happens to be all brass. The other cover, you will find these that does not have the Wico on there. It don't have that embossed on it. Some of the name tags on the top will be aluminum. And they are, this cover right here happens to be a zinc coated type tin metal of some nature. Whatever it is, I don't know, but it corrodes really bad. And they're all just your basic top strap that goes around through there. All of them does have that grounding tab right there. That should be clean and make contact right there. That should be tight and working. If that's missing, then your Magneto will not, it'll not have a circuit. This is aluminum tag there, highly corroded on this particular one, but you can replace this. They're available from the dealers. Getting to be quite expensive. This one right here, that's just a plain metal cover, the flat type, and it's metal front and back, and the brass strap. And I'm only going to do one of these. We're just going to do kind of a preliminary introduction to stuff here, and then I'm going to do one Magneto up, and we will charge the magnets on it. And this is the magnet, and they're held fast with a taper, a square taper nail-like little thing. And you put them in there and drive them in there, and it holds it tight. If you do not need to, it's a good idea not to remove them. Now, I do not have a Magneto presently that's got the new type laminated in the center magnet. I don't have one of them for show and tell. But this is the basic. That's what you will find 99% of the time. That type core. And here is an example of just a junkyard engine, and actually the magnets are missing out of this one. They're gone, and it did have a screw there that was rusted tight. I took a chisel to it and I did remove that. We'll scrap that and replace that. But now, as you can see, somebody in some of the wisdom of past or present, for some reason, I guess they figured this mag wasn't grounded, so they've actually added a wire. This is the remnants of it onto the cover, and that would have probably went to the engine for ground. It's not necessary. And here they have added some sort of metal strap there that would have, I don't know what that surface would have served, but it's there. You find all kinds of things in here, especially in the magnet, in the condenser, the capacitor department. Oh, well, let's set this aside and get to them capacitors. And I was taking one apart. This one right here, that's the reason for all the dirt onto the workbench right here. And the reason it's just a normal, when you start taking these apart, it's what you will find more times than one. But I did go ahead and loosen this one up right here where that I could. And this is the strap that holds that together in the back part. It all goes together. I'll clean that up. But as you can observe, the condenser, it is a corroded mess up in there. I'll dig that out there and get that out. But that's what you normally will find in there, is especially one that has had a cover of something missing. I don't think it's much. It's not going to be any benefit to wasting time digging that out at the present. But I will rebuild this Magneto and set it right. But these coils, they're highly deteriorated. They will not be usable. You know, been out in the weather. Covers was missing on this one. As was. Now them, well, I'm going to say they'll be bad. I'm going to say I'm going to need some coils there. Looking down in yonder, they're quite bad. And then them coils, they are available. Let's before we get to them coils, let's kind of clean the bench as we go. And I laid these, all of these original capacitors, condensers, and it's a confusion to what everybody wants to call them, so I'm just going to call them a condenser and be done with it. All of them will have that little, originally, will have that little break-a-light hard fiber thing on the end of those so it wouldn't make contact, ground itself out. But I did, using a ECG capacitor meter, and you just put it up there on whatever you think it'll be. And here's a capacitor I ordered from one of the suppliers, and to hook it up here and get a reading on it. And it's 21, it's 0.21 microfarads. And this one right here, and these are just they're too expensive to use. I mean, I buy one when I see one available. I'll buy it just kind of to confirm what the dealers are selling. And this was a recent purchase, but it checks out at 22. So one dealer's has 21 microfarads and one has 22, and I will keep them for show and tell. Now this is the type capacitor I use. Now them over yonder, you know, them's $9, you know, $7, you know. I mean, you have to put some dollars out to get one of these. These right here, you can get these things for 99 cents. And they work there. It's the same. It's just a new version of, well, it's the same. Capacitors, capacitors, capacitors. You know, for 99 cents, you know, I'm going to use that. And these right here, I did check all of those, and I wrote it down right here. This one right here checked out at 50 microfarad. This one was 45. This one was 35. This one was 57. This one was 24. This one was 25. That's condensers that I have took out of these in the past and saved them up. And another thing that I did observe is the hookup wires on these. They never had a forked thing on the wire. They were always bare wire twisted around underneath that. All of the original ones did not have a forked wire connector. It was just wire to condenser connections. I thought that was interesting, and but these are show and tell.